Nothing can hurt me.
Not my problem. Not my problem.
Exactly.
Well, it's like that bus driver. I mean, that's exactly probably what was going on with her. She didn't have any idea you were in the lane next to her. But what I was wondering is...
It's not like it's their job.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, but if he had...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tasteful Dudes, the most tasteful podcast in the galaxy. I am your one tasteful dude, Tim Fluffybeard, and with me is someone who has a lot to get off his chest. I'll just let you. I'm just gonna.
The Jackets clinched the playoffs, and it took 81 games. It's the last spot, I believe, in the playoffs that anybody could get.
You look post-coital right now.
Wow, you shut your mouth. That was uncalled for.
Was it?
No,
I mean, you look happy.
I was excited on my way to work, and I know that this is going to come out after we know more. But
yeah, like seeding will work itself out.
I was dancing and in my car on the way. I was listening to some tunes with the windows down because it was really nice this morning.
Holy moly!
And I just can't believe they did it. They did it in the most nerve-wracking way I've ever seen in my life.
It's Columbus.
It is Columbus.
Yeah.
But, either way, they did it. They're in. That's it.
The King of Torts was happy?
Yeah, the King of Torts.
Yeah.
But, we're not a sports podcast per se, so we'll end
Yeah,
it
we're partially. I'd say we're at least a third sports.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And I don't think he said my name, so I'm Nick, and I will go ahead and take it from here, bud, if that's okay with you.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yep, you sound...
I just like doing intros. That's all I like to do.
So, on this precious day, you guys are listening to this probably on a Monday, if you listen to it the first day or whatever day you're listening to.
Our 11 fans, plus my mom.
Exactly. We want you to know that you're special and you mean something to us. And we're going to have merch for 10 of you, 10 of the 11.
Yeah. Yes, because I
actually 8 of the 11 because we're going to have stuff. Yeah.
I made some stickers. If you look on our Instagram, it was a story, so it's not going to be up by the time this goes up. But we made some stickers of just our blue and yellow logo, and I am in the process. It should be up by the time this goes up. With TeePublic. They do a lot of merch for podcasts and stuff like that. And I have set up some designs, and hopefully we should be able to get some shirts, some pillows, some throw pillows.
Yeah, there's throw pillows.
A handbag.
Yeah, a tote.
A tote, yeah.
A tote.
So it should be pretty fun.
And they're all in our beautiful Rocco colors.
Yeah. Our the colors that look like they would adorn an adult bookstore in the 1980s.
Which I feel like is our aesthetic.
It is kind of our aesthetic. We should have
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we should have like CD saxophone music playing in the background.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. But let's bring it back to the food subject.
Yes.
Tim, where are we getting food from this week?
That's a really good question. We're going to have a guest
a little bit later on the podcast.
Well, we are getting pizza from Grandad's, which I've never had pizza from.
If you haven't, you're missing out.
I know.
I'm biased. I'm sorry.
I defer to you for Columbus trivia.
This is Columbus pizza. It's square cut. It's that cracker crust, the thin crust. It's, in my opinion, it's like Donato's 2.0. Like it's if Donato's never went commercial and cut corners and stuff. Which I love the
little corners that they cut in their pizza.
They cut little mini corners. But it is very similar. It's just it's one of the best pizzas I've ever had personally. It's one if I ever go out of town for a while and I come back home, that's one of the things I have to have is Grandad's pizza.
Nice.
It's just that good. So we'll put it on the list as as one of the ones we have to get through because it's my favorite. Yeah. Just like we did Romeo's. That was Cody's favorite.
Definitely, yeah.
He's a dummy.
And we'll probably put my favorite on there at some point. I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is also your last podcast.
No, it's not.
For a couple
For a couple
times.
For a couple weeks, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're going to somewhere special.
I'm going to Chicago next week for the Star Wars celebration.
Nice.
And I cannot wait. And I'm taking my girlfriend, by the way, which she listened to the podcast and she was like, you make it sound like you're going alone. I am not going alone. Taking someone very near and dear to me.
Who's completely real and not made up at all.
Yeah, she's real.
Yeah, totally.
For Mom listening, I'm sure you'll meet her soon.
If my mom is listening, I thank you,
yeah,
Mom.
Thanks for just giving us your time.
Did I tell you on because these go up on
I don't
No,
know.
don't.
I'm not going to say your
these
mom's
go
name.
up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and my mom actually commented, "Your mother is listening," and I'm like, "Yes, thank you, mother."
Yeah, that
it's
means
the only comment. That's
watch your damn mouth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's disappointed in me.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed in you. That's another story.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Other than that, Tim, is there anything that's irking you this week?
You know what? I will say something that's irking me. You know what? It hasn't been that long that we've done this podcast in this segment, but I'm already sort of tipping it on its head. I'll tell you what's not irking me this week. Yeah. You look displeased.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, so
let's get it over with.
It was going to irk me when I read it, but then as I read it, it started to not irk me. So Disney just came down with a new rule. First, they have banned smoking in all of their parks in North America, which means the 6 parks, the 4 of Walt Disney World and the 2 in California.
But didn't they do that already?
No, they hadn't banned smoking. They had slowly squeezed out smokers. They only had a few designated spots. There was one spot behind the Tomorrowland Speedway, the Autopia, where it was already smoky anyway, and that was just sort of smokers' alley, and it was terrible. So there's going to be no smoking at the parks, no vaping at the parks, and
they've taken a stance.
And no vaping. No massive strollers, because massive strollers are what are irking me. I hate them. I understand you have kids. You have to have a stroller. You can't carry them all the time. I understand that. I don't have kids. I don't know. Don't get a friggin' semi-truck and put a handle on the back of it and roll around your kids. Like, just don't do it.
People do that?
Oh my God, they're huge. Also, there are companies down in Florida that will rent you ones that look like Cinderella's chariot. Or not chariot. What is it? Her
pumpkin.
Her pumpkin. Yeah. And they're massive, and they're pointy, and they rip your legs off. And I hate them, and now they're going to be banned. Now, normal size, they have a size that they have to fit in, and most of strollers will fit in that.
So, are you saying that you've been hit by a stroller before?
I have nearly been run over by strollers, and people don't care. People don't care. And that's what irks me. What doesn't irk me is that they're getting rid of these. Also, the way I read it, I also thought that they were banning ice in the parks, because it said that they're banning this, and ice. I'm like, I love ice. I love chewing ice. I need ice in a soda. What they're actually doing is just banning. You're not allowed to bring ice in through the through Disney Customs.
So you have to buy ice.
Yeah, and you can actually get ice water, and ice, like cups of ice, free at any of the restaurants. It's just like you can bring coolers in, but you're not allowed to bring ice because it just takes too long to check. So good on you, Disney. Now let's get on to a living wage for all your workers. I think it's time. I think you can afford it. I think it's time. And people are here.
So now, a very special Tasteful Dudes episode where we have 2 guests.
Yeah.
Please welcome my friend Azar. Azar, how are you doing this week?
Hey, how's it going, Nick?
Great, yeah. I'm doing swell.
Awesome,
we already went over how the Blue Jackets clinched, but I know you're a hockey fan as well.
Congrats, man,
of course,
that.
Toronto's already been in, but
Whatever.
They are.
yeah. And Danny, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday as well, and
To normal
it is-
people who don't work.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's beautiful outside too.
It is.
really,
Oh my
really
God,
is.
it
I
is
walked outside and I was like,
gorgeous.
oh man.
Luckily, we're in this
Yeah.
building with no windows.
You can actually tell it's
Or the
spring.
air conditioning.
Or
So,
air conditioning.
Tim has just gone on about what's irked him this week.
Yeah.
Azar, I would like to ask you this week, what's been irking you, buddy?
I guess right off the top of my head, maybe the driving.
The driving?
Just
Yeah.
maybe.
What's the driving? No, like tell us everything.
So a lot of people, I don't know if it's like this everywhere else in Ohio or not, but I know in Columbus, the driving over here is I'll just say it's interesting. The choices people make over here.
Be very honest. Interesting is a word for liars.
Couple of things. Couple of things. Even CODA, even the public transportation, even the buses. Like just yesterday.
I have a friend who's been hit twice by CODA buses.
Wow.
Well, then maybe he could answer your question about how that works.
Yeah, I have a question for you then about that.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Because I almost got hit yesterday by a bus, and it was so weird because I had just dropped Danny off at work, and
Were you in your car?
I was in my car,
Okay.
Who's in
and
his car?
I'm in my lane. I'm in the center lane, and the bus is in the bus lane, I guess, where the bus stop was, and we're literally right next to each other, and this bus driver just starts to come into my lane.
Oh.
Just starts to, and I'm like, okay, they're not actually just
Yeah.
coming into my
No,
lane.
I still have a bubble, right? Like, there's a bubble around my car. He's
They
gonna
can
notice,
sense it,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I start honking my horn, and they just kept coming in. They just kept coming in, man. And I'm just like, and I honked again, and then the bus driver like turns around, and gives me a look, like, yeah, what? Like what?
Like, oh, did you just
he
start
doesn't-
existing?
Yeah.
What do you
Oh,
want?
you're afraid of your life or whatever.
You know
That's
what I'm
cute.
saying? It was hilarious.
Dude, I don't know
man.
why when you just said that you've had a friend that's gotten hit by a bus
Yeah.
twice, I just imagine that he's not inside a car. He's just walking. Yeah.
I mean,
Like, I don't
getting
know
hit by a
why.
bus is not funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no,
in
it's
this-
not.
In this hypothetical,
But
it is.
hypothetically, I don't know why I just like I visualized that you weren't in your car when you got hit, and I was like,
Yeah, oh, thank God
that's-
it wasn't my
that's-
car.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So things like that, and like there's other certain things that are kind of the norm over here. That even though I've been here for such a long time, and I love the city,
Yellow
but
lights are optional.
the yellow lights are optional, and that, and the way people merge onto the highway over here and things like that. I think it's funny. That's all.
I've never known anything different in my life.
I'm still getting
my
used
Lord,
to it.
that's horrible.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
driven so many other places in the U.S. and I feel like it's so much safer driving in like Chicago or New York compared to here.
Yeah, everybody was like, so I
We
have,
love you, Columbus.
I have driven in New York City, and like my parents didn't want me driving in there. My grandma didn't want me driving, and I was just like, I'm gonna try it, right? We went to the Natural History Museum, and I drove in New York, and I was like, this is not that stressful.
No,
like,
not at all.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It
I think
wasn't-
also,
not
people-
compared to like what just like every day in Columbus.
yeah, people
Like,
are so nice.
There's more people, right?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
other
yeah.
than that,
Yeah.
I feel like people have a lot more road sense because they have to over there. I feel like
Yeah.
people over here, I don't know, maybe they just don't drive as often, but they seem like they kind of like drive with blinders on.
Yeah.
As opposed to with like good spatial awareness, which is kind of important
if I look
if you're
forward,
driving.
nothing can hurt
vehicle.
me.
Not my
what it feels
problem. Not my
Yep.
problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like that bus driver. I mean, that's exactly probably what was going on with her. She didn't have any idea you were in the lane next to her. But what I was wondering is
It's not like it's their job.
No, but if he had been hit, if he was in his vehicle and had been hit by the bus, we were wondering like whose fault is it? Because we've heard in the past that if you're in any type of a collision with a bus, whether you're parked or moving or whatever, that technically like they won't pay for it. That it's like technically your fault.
Oh wow.
Is that
I don't
true?
know if that's true.
I don't know if that's
Maybe
true. That's
it's
what
just
I
a
That's just-
rumor.
I have a
I don't
bunch.
know.
I think a bunch of lawyers would love to take that on.
Maybe
If
it's
we
a
have any
Columbus
lawyers
legend.
out of the 11 of you that listen, please at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually people say don't at us, but please
Please
at
ask. Yeah.
Danny, what's irking you this week?
Oh no, just I'm kind of the same things.
Just-
Just
Just a bus? You almost got hit by a bus?
personally, I did not almost get hit by
Were
a
you
bus.
driving the bus?
I-
Were you the one that?
This was secretly my plan the whole time, you know.
I was like, Danny, what are you doing?
We're together, and she doesn't even look like she cared.
I'm just like, why? Why are you in that lane? No, I'm fine. I've just been working a lot, and I work at a hospital, so I'm actually a nurse, and so I see a lot of people, maybe in like a little bit different situations. Like what has been irking me is like seeing people who don't want to like take care of themselves, and you want to try to help them get better, and they just will go back to their cigarettes or their drugs or whatever it is whenever they leave the hospital. So that's a little bit darker. I don't know if you really want to go there.
Oh, we get dark.
Oh, yeah.
What was the
yeah.
last dark thing we talked about?
Oh God, I forget.
Probably, I don't know. We went on a spiel about Liam Neeson that I don't
We
think...
did, and I cut it out.
Yeah,
'cause
I don't think it made the last episode.
You definitely
because-
don't want to piss off Liam Neeson.
Yeah, but he also like he did
He
some
will find you. He will.
He has a very
questionable
special set of
stuff,
skills.
right? Yeah.
And they involve
Huh.
lists,
Yeah.
and they involve.
Yeah. I was just watching him in episode 1 last night. God, he was good in episode 1.
Oh man, Qui-Gon's gonna.
You know who else was
kill
good?
it.
Even though he was on screen for like 2 minutes, Chancellor Valorum.
Oh yeah,
That actor.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's a great actor.
He
He
is.
just. I think he said like he was.
I
Given,
feel like in Star
2
Wars
minutes
for
to-
like the background characters, they get a lot of like Shakespearean trained actors
They do, yeah.
that like are super into the project at first, but then want nothing to do with it afterwards.
Yeah.
And they also
Yeah.
have Jimmy Smits.
Yeah,
Who's
and Jimmy
amazing.
Smits.
God, I love Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy Smits.
I've never seen episode 1.
You've
It's-
never seen the prequels, right?
Yeah.
I have not
He
seen
has
the
not.
prequels. I've
Yeah.
only seen the originals.
Yes.
The more I watch the prequels, the more I respect them. Like, there are still definite issues with them, but the more I realize that they're necessary to the story, even if they could have been made a lot better.
Well, I feel like it's a lot of people, and you feel free to chime in because a lot of people have reservations about watching like an animated cartoon. But I think that the cartoon that is on Netflix, it's soon to be leaving, I think, that was set in the prequel time period really helped the prequels because they fixed a lot of the problems.
Filled in those plot holes, huh?
They filled in those terrible plot holes that were gaping.
Could drive us someone
Yeah,
through.
exactly.
You're talking about,
Yeah.
You're talking about Clone Wars?
Yeah, Clone
Yeah,
Wars.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
watching Clone Wars. So but like I mean that I understand completely when people say like you shouldn't have to do the homework of watching the TV shows or reading the books to be able to watch Star Wars and enjoy it. Totally get that. But I feel like this new like prequel forgiveness program that everybody's offering
That I'm on.
Yeah, that we're all on. Is all because of that TV show that really fixed
Yeah.
a lot of the problem.
Well, and I think in the TV show you do see a lot more of Valorum.
You do, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You get some more information on the background characters. Okay, well, I think that concludes what's irking everybody.
What's hurting us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Downercast.
Yeah, Downercast. So we're going to talk about pizza real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give my rating real quick, and then I got a dip. So, Grandad's today. Now, have you guys had much experience with Grandad's before?
I have.
Yeah. What's your opinions on Grandad's outside of today's episode?
I've always been happy with Grandad's. I love it. I got introduced to it a few years back, actually. Someone brought it into work. And, actually, no, they had it at work. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? This is great.
Because I remember talking to you about Grandad's because we were in a show once, and there was like a potluck, like an ending potluck, and you just brought a couple
I bought in a couple of
Grandad's pizza, and I was happy. Like I was just happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
you say
It's
pie.
like, oh, yeah.
This is the thing. You say pie.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes colloquially. Yeah.
I did
Danny,
that.
is it pizza? Is it
Pizza
pie?
A pizza pie.
Yeah.
I guess
did-
a pizza.
You
I
do
don't know.
pizza?
I did that thing on our Twitter. Nobody voted for it, but I put, if you call a pizza a pie, is it jackass or irredeemable jackass?
I'm sorry.
Mostly because
No, I say the same thing.
Mostly
That's
because
why.
I've been saying it.
You've been saying it because I've
I've been
said it a
saying
bunch.
pie, yeah.
Isn't that like a Northeast term for it? Like
It could-
I think it is.
I
It
think
is a
so,
Northeastern
yeah.
thing because I remember.
Half my family's from up there, so
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, it's over there. They say pie. Yeah. I love it. It's not my favorite, but I think it's a great deal, and I usually finish a whole pie by myself.
yeah. Well,
Now,
it's like
speaking of, now you said you're originally from Toronto, right?
Well,
How long did you live in Toronto? Did you like grow up there? And
yeah, I was born and raised in Toronto.
what was your favorite pizza place up there?
Pizza.
Well,
Is that the okay? 'Cause
Pizza-
that's
Pizza
the one.
Pizza.
That's the one I've heard of. Yeah.
Well, Pizza is one of the famous chains.
Okay.
One of the famous big chains over there, and that is growing up, that was a big thing. Pizza. You know.
They have that like Alfredo sauce that comes
And
in like
so-
a cup.
Yeah, they have this really
Yeah, it's
delicious, out of this world garlic creamy kind of paste sauce type of thing. It is really spectacular.
We're taking the.
It's
Tasteful
really good.
Pizza on the road.
So
Going to
pizza's
Toronto.
good. So yeah, I'll be honest. Like, even though I'm born and raised in Toronto, I'm a little partial to New York slices.
Yeah,
When
so-
I moved to New York,
Yeah. So tell me about that. You spent how many years in New York and why?
I spent about almost 6 years in New York. Yeah, almost 6 years in New York.
From ages.
Throughout my 20s, pretty much, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So like from 21 to like 26, 27-ish, give or take. Yeah, 26. Yeah. So yeah, I was there.
You're
living-
trying to be humble, but you went to AMDA.
I went to
That's what I'm
AMDA.
trying to-
I went to AMDA.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
It's a theater school. It's a theater conservatory.
Oh, okay.
It's really famous for musical theater, producing a lot of really great musical theater actors and actresses. I didn't do musical theater. I did just acting.
There's some great like theater or like
and
just straight acting.
There are, yeah.
that
The school
come
was
from there.
right, yeah, absolutely. The school was founded by Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. And,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
Wow.
this and that and the other. Initially in its founding, but yeah, they've grown quite a bit. They're now out in LA also, and in LA they actually offer a BFA program now. So it's actually a university in LA now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it wasn't technically accredited, right?
It was accredited, so I was able to transfer to a college and finish my degree. But so yeah, you can take the credits that you earn from AMDA and put it towards a BFA or actually whatever
Yeah.
you want. So yeah, I was there from that was in the early 2000s, 2001, 2002, AMDA, and then after that, and for a few years, I was living the New York actor life
Yeah.
for a little bit, so that was a very humbling experience.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But yeah, so I'm a little partial to New York pizza. I'm not gonna lie, I love those big New York slices, the greasy, cheesy,
Flat fin.
just flat. I just love it, man. But no, I mean, yeah, Grandad's is great. Over here, I think it's
So I'll go over the rating system.
Yeah.
So
So
the
I have
rating-
to. I have to
it's-
introduce something.
Yeah,
In a little bit too.
It's a weird rating system. So we got the hashtag 6 out of 10 scale. So the first step is not even 6 out of 10. That's a pizza that you would not have again.
Okay.
Then there's a 6 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with the pizza, but there's
Decent
also not bad. You wouldn't like be mad if you saw it at a party or whatever. It's pizza, so you're still gonna have like 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. And then there's solid 6 out of 10. And that solid 6 out of 10, that you'd get again. You would definitely get again. And then 10 out of 10. And the 10 out of 10 slices is going to be your go-to.
It's gonna.
And every time that you can treat yourself to this pizza, you're going to.
okay.
You
it's
will
a
miss
special-
a rent payment just to get this.
Yeah, it's a specialty. Yeah.
All right, so Nick, because you have to leave,
Yeah.
you're gonna give yours.
Okay, so I'm actually going to give this a really, really solid 6 out of 10.
So
Bubble
bubble-
10 out of 10.
Ooh,
bubble
bubble
10 out of 10. And you can bubble it. So you can bubble it up,
Yeah.
bubble it down.
All right.
So I bubbled it up. So I gave it solid 6, bubbled up to 10.
Nice.
This is one of my favorite pizzas, and I'm trying to judge it just based off of this experience. Is this the Grandview location? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I usually get from the Morris Road location. So, like I said, this is like, for me at least, it's like Donato's 2.0.
Okay.
Like for the smoked provolone, the pepperonis, like they put on a bunch. It's edge to edge style. It's that thin crust. It's really, really good. But you said that your first story with Donato's. You remember?
Yeah, I remember because I know Donato's is a Columbus, Ohio thing, and I know. So when I first moved here and I had Donato's for the first time, because I remember everyone kept talking about this is how much they love Donato's, and so anyways I had Donato's and I was like it's pretty good. I thought they were a little overkill on the sauce.
They still do.
And I like it saucy, but I guess the flavor of their sauce.
I think that's gonna be the intro.
I like it saucy.
I like it saucy, but
I mean, I do, as long as there's a little bit of sweetness to the sauce. But
Yeah.
but then I tried Grandad's, and that's my first reaction was like exactly what you just said. I was like, oh, this is a better version of Donato's.
Yeah. And everybody like I feel like because it's Donato's, because there's pride in Columbus or whatever, like it's totally like, oh yeah, Donato's is the best, or but like
It's the one that hit it big.
it's
Like-
the one that made it out.
Like
yeah.
it doesn't make it the best. It doesn't mean it's bad either. Like I will never be. Well, I've been let down by Donato's, but most of the time I'll get Donato's and I'll be happy.
Well, yeah, like I mean, Donato's is the taste of my childhood because like the city schools had a contract with Donato's, so anytime that they ordered pizza for like pizza parties and stuff, it was Donato's
okay.
pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes
I like
sense.
their veggie pizza. Their veggie pizza's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. So with that rating, so now that I gave you my example rating,
Yep.
what are you guys thinking? So, Danny, do you want to go first?
I'm trying to understand the rating system. So
Yeah,
it's either
any questions?
Week 6 out of 10.
Not even.
Not even 6 out of 10.
Not even 6 out of 10.
Not even 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Solid
Or a
6.
solid 6.
Or
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
And
There's
opposed,
4.
As opposed to using 0 out of 10.
I don't think you're understanding. So we have a not even 6 out of 10.
I don't know. It's kind of straightforward.
I'm sorry. Let me get it together.
So again, we got not even 6 out of 10. This is
Okay.
a pizza that like you just is not good. You
Okay.
do not like.
Okay.
Not even 6.
Uh-huh.
Then you got the 6.
The 6.
The 6 is like it's decent. Like
good.
there's
It's
nothing
alright.
good. There's nothing bad about it, right?
Okay.
Then there's solid 6. See, if I explain it to you, I can understand it as well. Solid 6 is that's the only way I can keep track.
Yeah.
Solid 6 is a good pizza. Like that's a good pizza. And then 10 out of 10 is just
It's a
It's
walk
the
over
stuff.
broken glass to get this pizza. Yeah.
barefoot.
Like Annie Lennox. Walking
Yes.
on the glass. Okay,
Yes.
Annie.
Yes.
Well, I'd have to say probably a 6 out of 10 for me. Like, it's his go-to favorite, and God love him. I think he keeps them in business. But I personally, I think Donato's is okay. I feel like Donato's, you never get the bang for your buck that you're looking for. I don't know if it's just that the crust is too thin or what,
Yeah.
but I feel like you don't. I feel like I could personally, and I weigh like 140 pounds. I mean 120 pounds. So I feel like I could eat a whole large one of their pieces and like. That would be a single meal for me. I feel like you don't get a lot from Donato's. This one is I feel like you get a really good bang for your buck. It's a great value.
But
The
you're still-
flavor's fine, but
Yeah.
I prefer something with a little more seasoning, a little bit more freshness tasting ingredients. Personally, I think that a similar style pizza that's kind of like the thin crust that has like the wall to wall pepper, edge to edge pepperoni,
So
or whatever.
you
would
so
be more
you
like
do
a
like
Blank's.
you do like for lack of a better term, like that Columbus style, that Donato's, the Grandad's, like that style pizza where it's cut into squares and it's like real thin, like that cracker crust.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. If
Or
you're
what's
talking
your
about
what would be your build a 10 out of 10 for me real quick?
Well, a 10 out of 10 for me. We went to New York last summer. I think you know what I'm going to say. We went to New York last summer. I love New York bagels, but also New York pizza, obviously. And so there's actually a little joint in Brooklyn that we found.
Yeah.
It's called My Little Pizzeria.
Yeah.
And it's right over near the Brooklyn Museum, probably about a 5-minute drive from the Brooklyn Museum.
Yeah, about 5 minutes.
And they have like the large, thin, like big slices that are like real greasy and
Oh, yeah.
just like a heart attack in a pizza.
Yeah.
And they have like some like
Yeah.
garlic and basil garnish, or what was it? Like, and they put that on top. So like personally, I just like a little bit more.
There's freshness
seasoning
there.
to it.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
freshness there too.
Just-
Yeah.
Like
So
we-
that'd be a 10 out of 10 for me.
So I know you guys kind of live close to where I'm at, but have you heard of the new Sip Brewery?
I don't know what that
The
is.
Somewhere in Particular?
I don't think so, no.
So it's right around the corner from my apartment.
Uh-huh.
So you guys, I think, probably
Yeah,
are
we're
over
real
there,
close.
like
We're right
Rita's,
there all
really,
the
really
time.
close to Rita's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right on the same street. So Dierker,
Okay.
in the middle of Henderson and
I feel like I've seen that.
Bethel, right,
Yeah.
almost smack dab in the middle is this new brewery called Sip, which is somewhere in particular.
Yeah.
Is what
When you
it's
said it was the old Henderson.
Old Henderson House.
Henderson
Yeah, it's
House,
like they built it in a huge. Anyways, it's kind of a cool spot. Their pizza though
Really?
is amazing. And actually, like, we'll be doing like a wrap-up episode towards the end of the season so that we can amend any, like, because that was one of our first stops. And I think both of us would amend that one and go straight up to 10. They do a Ohio pepperoni that has
really good.
And like, I don't mean to like spend most of this talking about another pizza, but I can't get it out of my head. They're like individual, like almost like California Pizza Kitchen style.
10-inch pie.
Okay.
Yeah, 10-inch pie.
All right.
And they have drizzled jalapeno honey on top of the pepperoni and then chopped with fresh basil and thrown on.
Oh,
It's-
that sounds like
and it's
something
coal
I would
fire.
love.
Coal
Yeah,
fire.
that sounds really good.
So it's good. Like if you're into like I don't know, if you're into that, like you guys gotta give that a chance. And at least if you get cheese with the jalapeno honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great stuff.
They have a
That
good
sounds
mushroom
good.
pizza there too.
Oh, we
I've
love
gotten it.
mushroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so far our favorite pizza, and I feel like you would really like that
Oh,
if you want
yeah.
the like freshness with as well as that one is a really good one, especially
try that out.
some spice. There's a little bit of spice
Little
to
bit
it.
of spice, yeah.
Little sweet spice. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the way you looked at me when you said spice.
Because
That
you
was
know what
very
I'm talking
seductive.
about.
I mean, I do.
Yes, he knows what
fool.
you're talking about.
Okay. So that brings us to you, Azar. Azar, how would you rate this pizza?
I'd give it a solid 6 out of 10.
Just solid.
Just a solid 6.
Just a
out of
solid. Okay.
Is that how you're
Yep, just a
rating?
solid.
Okay. I'm confident with that. I think I think pretty much on the same page. What is
Yeah.
what's
I'm
you
gonna
wanna
give
wrap
it.
up?
I'm gonna give it a solid 6 out of 10. It's got bubble potential too.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like
Awesome.
I love Donato's pizza, and this is like I said, the way Donato should be.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
It's my it's one
I'd
of my
like to.
favorite
I want to
spots.
try some like different toppings. See what
Yeah.
else they have.
Yeah. Experiment. That's what we call experimenting in the business.
It's called
Pizza review.
Pete experimenting.
The business of
That's
pizza
not what it's
eating.
called.
Didn't work. Other than that, Tim,
Yeah.
are we ready for? Do you want to close it down with your sports minute?
Yeah. Okay. So as you know, every week I am allowed 1 minute to talk about sports,
Awesome.
and
Well, I mean, we kind of broke it today, but that's just because I'm a Blue Jackets fan, and that was
yeah,
what was on my
yeah.
mind.
I mean, no. If we're talking sports on this podcast, it's mostly Blue Jackets, but sometimes I like to talk about something different. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tim Fluffybeard's Sports Minute of the Day. Today's Sports Minute is all about football. No, I'm not talking about the NFL. I'm talking about the AAF, or the former AAF. So you might have seen that earlier this week, or last week when this comes out, the AAF, the Alliance of American Football, in its debut season, has gone bankrupt. They are no more. They have closed down shop and released all of their players. So all of their players can now play for anyone they want. It's also kind of weird that Johnny Manziel is now out of a job again. So he was in the CFL. He got kicked out of the CFL. He went to the AAF, and 1 week later, the AAF is gone. So I think he's starting to be cursed. Anyway, but what's cool though is a lot of these players that were good in the AAF, especially ones in the Orlando Apollos, are going to be a.
okay. Stop.
Okay.
That's been
Well,
our 1 minute with Tim Fluffybeard.
You know what?
and
This week
was-
I actually cut it down to 20 minutes.
Yeah, you got to learn, man.
I'm
it's
slowly
called
learning.
Tim Fluffybeard's Sports Minute. You get a corner to talk about it for a minute.
I'm still not good at plurals.
Ah,
I don't know that, sometimes you put that number 5 at the end of a word. Yeah.
he's an idiot, and he's talking about the letter S. I just want to explain to you what I'm dealing with, the wall I'm climbing every week.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, with everybody, do you have any projects coming up we want to talk about?
Not really. I mean, just right now, just working on trying to get into graduate school, really.
Nice.
I am working on a treatment, trying to finish a treatment as part of my application process for graduate school, and film
Nice.
school. So that's pretty much what I'm focusing on right now. I mean, I go on auditions all the time now. Haven't really booked anything, but I keep going on auditions. So,
Hey,
I'm
dude.
signed with the local talent agency that sends me on stuff all the time to audition for.
Nice.
So that takes up my time, and then also in addition to just working on on trying to get back to school, trying to go to grad school.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Danny, you have anything?
Oh no, just working, and
That's just about the same for me.
That's
yeah.
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing podcasts with you guys in my spare
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
hanging out, and we're gonna go to Gallery Hop today, so that'll be cool. Check
Nice.
out some local art. Yeah, so that's pretty much the story for me right now.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being on our show. Tim, would you like to wrap it up with where they can find us?
Well, I'll tell you, Nick. They can find us on the internet.
Great.
Oh, more specifically, they can find us on social media at My Tasteful Dudes. That's at My Tasteful Dudes on Instagram, Twitter, all that. You can also find this on YouTube and possibly on TeePublic.
Yeah.
I've set up some designs on TeePublic. I'm trying to get the shop together, but it'll probably be. I'll link it out if we get it there. So we've got some logos for the shirt and for other things like that, but that'll be forthcoming. And just follow us on social media, and you'll know.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So thank you so much for joining in this week.
Thank you for
We
having
hope
me,
you
man. Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you.
Absolutely.
Dude. It's awesome.
This is a whole lot more fun when it's not just looking at your face.
Yeah, most definitely. It gives us something to talk about more.
Well, anytime you want to talk about pizza,
Absolutely.
we will
Absolutely.
always have an opinion.
Pizza, hockey, whatever.
Heck
you know?
Yeah. And
Is
that's-
there any way that the Jackets will play?
If they make it out of the first round, anything could happen.
Okay. Well, see that'll be when we go up to Toronto to try some pizza.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be great.
You go Leafs, go, and go
Yeah.
Blue Jackets also.
There you go. Also, one last thing: do you say Toronto or Toronto?
Toronto is. It's
Like you sort of, like,
Toronto.
don't
so
say
the,
that.
the T is usually
Okay.
not in there. So yeah,
It's very Midwestern.
It's Toronto. Yeah.
Well, well, that does it for this week, and we want to thank you for listening, and we will let you listen to us next week. So,
Yeah. See you next time.
great time.
Good night, Columbus.
Farts.